Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me. Can you please let me know in the chat box if you can hear me? Okay, great. So I will start. I think we can just wait for 1 minute and see if anyone else joins, and then we can formally start. Hope you're all doing well. And if you just want to let me know where you're dialing in from in the chat, that would be great. It's a nice sunny day today, so okay, great. Okay, lovely. I think we can start, and then I will introduce myself. So I'm Aiman. I'm from the UK community team at Malt, and I hope you're all doing great and you can hear me as well. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and thanks a lot for joining us today. I'm thrilled to be joined by my two exceptional colleagues, Tebek from the community team and Praj from the project sourcing team, who will be explaining a few important key points and will be helping us today. So that's lovely. I hope the registration process went smoothly for you. If you have any feedback about it, please don't hesitate to share it with us. We're here to assist you and happy to help you whenever. Just a few housekeeping rules for communication during the presentation. Please feel free to use the chat box for general discussion. And if you have any questions, we kindly ask you to use the designated question section. This will just make it easier for us to locate and respond to your questions at the end of the session, as questions in the chat box might potentially be overlooked. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you, and let's have a productive session. That's great. I will move forward. So we will be moving on to our agenda. The idea of today's webinar is to explain more about Malt and tell you a little bit about how the platform works. And I think the third point is probably the most important one. I will be giving you tips on how you can optimize your profile for better visibility and attract the clients on our platform. And lastly, we will be answering all your questions from the question section. So we will have separate 10-15 minutes at the end for all the questions that you have. So please don't hesitate. Any question that you have, I would highly suggest that you do ask us, and we will be happy to answer all of them. That's great. Okay, so I hope that is all clear so far. Starting off with the first point of the agenda, which is a quick overview of Malt. So what exactly is Malt? In simple terms, Malt is a better way to freelance. And sorry, 1 second. I hope you can see the slides moving. I'm just trying to see if it's working properly. Okay, great. Okay, so I will quickly now take you through the story of Malt, which is quite interesting. Malt is currently the biggest highly skilled freelance community in Europe and recently also celebrated its 10th anniversary. It's been 10 years since our first transaction on Malt, and 3,652 days later, our ambition remains unchanged. Yes, I just calculated the number number of days in my head. So just to give you the backstory, before becoming the CEO and CTO of Malt, respectively, one saw a successful e-commerce startup founder, and Hugo, a freelance developer and founder of the Lateral Thoughts tech community, met in 2012 to discuss a problem faced by practically every company in existence today. The challenge of finding expert freelancers to propel their projects forward with speed, agility, and efficiency. And a year later, in 2013, Malt was officially born, officially kicking off a movement to change how the world works. And in 2015, there were 50,000 plus freelancers and 1,000 plus clients on Malt already. And since then, we have expanded into Spain, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, and since last October, we also launched the market in UK. And today, Malt is home to over 600,000 freelancers and more than 70,000 clients that are currently using Malt to find the best freelancers. So I think that is pretty cool, the journey. Um, and so far, we work with a variety of organizations that use Malt. They can be really small businesses, medium businesses, startups, scale ups, as well as large corporate and consulting firms. And clients like to work with Malt because we provide them with human support combined with advanced technology solutions that allows them to manage all their freelancing activities in one central place. So there are quite a few of companies and industries that we work with. And I will quickly also share the benefits that you get as freelancers working with Malt. You can save time on administrative tasks and manage all your freelance projects in a digital environment. For example, you can use Malt to send out your quotes to clients. You can sign contracts online, generate and send invoices automatically, and we provide easy to use templates for everything. And you can even invite your current clients to work via Malt to have all your projects and administration managed in one central place. And I think the most important point is that you don't have to worry about chasing the clients for payment. We make sure that you get paid on time 10 days after the end of each project because we ask the client to pay upfront. Sorry. And our professional liability insurance covers all your projects. You can easily create quotes, invoices, and reports. And you can directly discuss the project rates and the terms and conditions of the project with the end client. So I think that's super cool. We also offer support for clients on IR35 so that you get access to a wider choice of projects, and we minimize IR35 risks thanks to our compliant workflows and contracts. And you can join our community events for free, such as networking drinks, webinars, trainings, and photo shoots. And all of our services are free of charge. We don't ask for any registration or subscription fee, and we don't take any commission on the freelancer side. So for you, the use of our services is completely free, which I think is super amazing. Moving forward, so we're now on to the second point of our agenda. I will show you how the platform works and how the clients, they find freelancers. So clients have three options to find you. They can basically find freelancers via Malt in three ways. Firstly, through direct search. As I mentioned before, that Malt works through an advanced search engine that allows the clients to find the most suitable freelance profiles for their project. So what they do, clients can just go to our platform, search for a required expert, select a few strongest profiles, and just they can contact them directly. I can just share my screen to quickly show how clients do that. Just bear with me. Okay. Let me know if you can see. So basically what they do is they go to malt.uk, and this is the page that they see, and they will see a search bar at the bottom of the page. So they can just, for example, they're looking for a freelancer who is skilled in Python for a specific project. So they can type in Python and they can search for freelancers, and this search will take them to all the list of freelancers. And this is the first way they can look for freelancers. They can also play around with filters here. So whatever they need, they can just try to search for that. And this is just an example. Obviously, they can also search by location, by different means. But yeah, this is basically how they share. I hope that makes sense. And moving on to the second way that clients can find freelancers. Basically, the clients can find freelancers through project proposal. They register the brief on the platform. Our matching algorithm does the search and sends the brief to the best matches. The number depends on the brief, which means that the more generic the brief, the more people are contacted. And freelancers can directly reply to client. In both cases, a direct search and project proposal, you will receive an email and you'll also get a message in your account. And yeah, this is how they use project proposal. So right next to the search bar, there's the search button that you click, and right next to it is project proposal. So that's where clients click, and they can just add like up to 5 people, and they can sort of just keep adding them. So the algorithm automatically looks for similar people and they can easily add those people and look for freelancers. I hope that makes sense. And moving on to the third slide. Thirdly, the clients can find freelancers through our sourcing team. I would like to invite my amazing colleague Praj, who was kind enough to spare some time for us to introduce the sourcing team and explain in detail how to find freelancers, as he is definitely an expert when it comes to the sourcing of projects. And the team is working hard every day to find the best project matches for our freelancers. So over to you, Praj.
Great. Thank you very much, Aiman, for the wonderful introduction. Good morning to everyone who have tuned in for this great webinar that our wonderful community team has organized. So just as a quick introduction, yes, I work in the sourcing team of Malt. So what that essentially means is when clients do have a complex brief, they reach out to someone like me in order to take a deeper look into the platform to find the right freelancers for themselves. So in terms of process, the way that it works is once a client reaches out to us with a specific requirement, we schedule a briefing call with them to understand their specific needs of the project, such as, let's say, any functional expertise. For example, someone who they need as a front end or a back end developer, a UI UX designer, a graphic designer, or for example, on the more complex stuff, which is mostly oriented towards consulting. It can anywhere be from someone who is a due diligence expert to someone who's very good at go-to-market strategy and other expertise related to that. So we invest a lot of time in understanding the brief and making sure that this is a confirmed requirement, and also that the client that we're speaking with has the necessary budget in order to carry out this project to through Malt. So once all this is done, we then take the project live onto the Malt platform, where we invite a handful of freelancers by taking a deep search, like I said. And this number is usually around 15 to 20 freelancers like yourself. So once we click on invite, you will be receiving an email through the platform that, hey, you've received an X project from this client. So if you're interested, please feel free to click on this link. That will then direct you to a window where you can take a detailed look at the project brief that we have set up post our discussion with the client. And then, of course, if you're interested and available, you can choose to pitch for the project. Now, there are a couple of points here to be mindful of when you do pitch for a specific project, which I'll be discussing in a minute. But just to continue the process, so once we receive the pitch from you, we then take a detailed look at it and ask you if we do require any additional information that is relevant to the specific role. Then, following which, we make a candidate proposal in which the client goes through the freelancers who have pitched and pick the best 2-3 freelancers that they'd like to speak with. So once this interview is scheduled, you speak to the client, you like each other. Then we set the contracting on the platform, and the project is all ready to take off. And you don't have to worry about any admin, because it will be my team and the FinOps team of a company that will take care of everything for you. So, sort of moving on, a small introduction again to the sourcing team that we have here in the UK. As you can see, the first picture is me, and we do have two other colleagues who manage different verticals of the business, and which would be Cami and Kritika, and they would be more than happy to help you on any project queries that you have. Now, there is a small caveat wherein you may not, through the platform, find out for a specific project how you reach out to us through email. So what we are implementing as a best practice is, in all the project briefs that you receive from the UK, you'll have the details or the email address of all three of us. So you can reach out to any one of us with any project concerns or questions that you have, and we'd be happy to help you with that. Now, moving on to the pitch aspect that we mentioned earlier. Now, this is where you receive a project invite and you accept the project by providing a couple of bullet points or mentioning your relevant experience to the role. Now, this is honestly super crucial and important for you as a freelancer. And the reason I say this is when you make a candidate proposal, this is the first thing the client takes a look at. And this usually works the best when you can quantify your experience and point out those precise sort of expertise about where you've worked, what they've asked for in the brief. That sort of makes you stand out to the client among the list of freelancers that they're going to review. So, for example, assume they've asked someone who's worked in, let's say, an ed tech sector and having experience in, let's say, Python or Java. So mentioning your specific examples related to these experience would be quite helpful for even in the client and for someone like me as part of the sourcing team. And using these pitch as well, if we do receive any questions from the client, we'll be in a position to sort of position your profile in the best way possible so they speak to you in the first place. And there are also other elements related to soft skills within the brief, where you can obviously mention in the pitch. This again makes you stand out. And last but not the least is we have standard SLAs or timelines set up with each and every one of our clients, and that is 48 hours. So my request to each and every one of you is to pitch for an invite by accepting or rejecting a specific opportunity that you receive within 24 to 48 hours. So this significantly increases the chances of you getting onboarded to a specific project, and this will also help us deliver a project on time. So yeah, that's it from my end. I will be handing over again to Aiman, who is also apparently a math genius. Thanks, Aiman.
Thanks a lot, Praj, for so nicely and thoroughly explaining everything. And it was very helpful, and I'm sure it was helpful for freelancers as well. So taking it forward from where Praj left it off is basically sending a quote to the client. This is in a situation where you have already had an ongoing conversation about a project with the client. So before sending your quote, discuss the details with them. Make sure to understand the scope of project by asking about the client's needs, deadlines, deliverables, and the budget. This will allow you to send an accurate quote that matches the project. And setting your rate is also very important. It's important to make sure that the quote you send to the client matches the work involved as well as your skills and experience. And finally, send your quote. Once you have finalized your quote, you can send it directly through Malt with the following details: deliverables, timing, working conditions, transfer rights, and software and methodologies used. So this is just a slide on sending quote to the client. Moving on. So moving on to the third and the most important point of our agenda, how you can optimize your profile to boost your visibility on the platform. So, okay. Here, I would like to point out that we are different from job boards and recruitment agencies. On a traditional job board, you as a freelancer would reply to roles posted by companies. But Malt works the other way around. We have developed an advanced search engine that allows the clients to find the most suitable freelance profiles for their projects, and they can just contact them directly. So that means that you will be in direct contact with the end client to discuss the project, the rates, and the terms and conditions of the project, which would save both you and the client a lot of time. And our goal today is to make sure that when the clients type a keyword to search for freelancers, you appear at the top of the list, and that increases your chances of being reached out by the client for a project. Sorry. And to appear at the top of the list of your profile just needs to be 100% complete. I will be sharing the details of what you can put in your profile to maximize your chances in the following slides. So this is the whole idea behind these slides. Because we just want to make sure that you do appear at the top of the list. Since we do have a lot of freelancers, it's very easy to get lost within the list. So that's why we really push and just encourage you to make sure that your profile is 100% complete. And I'll just quickly explain why boosting your profile is super important. Your Malt profile gives clients an in-depth understanding of the value that you can bring to their projects through your skills and experience. Your ratings and reviews from previous projects also create a sense of trust and credibility for the future clients. So it's super important that you do have a complete profile. As you can see here, a completed profile basically attracts more clients and allows our matching algorithm to better match you with clients. The more information is in your profile, the more project proposals you will receive. So firstly, I would I'm not following this checklist in a specific order. So first, I'm going to start off with the description. So this is where you can talk about yourself, your background and expertise, the services you offer, your technical skills, and even the sectors that you prefer working in. Be sure to break up the text into smaller paragraphs or lists to make it easier to read. And think of like search engine optimization, and you can use keywords that could best describe your skills and experience. And then moving on to your job title, all these things that I've listed here are super important. So please make sure everything is complete. And in your job title, describe your field of expertise and use keywords to make sure your skill set is nicely portrayed in your job title. As the first thing that clients see in the search list before they even open your profile is your name and job title. So it's super important to have an impactful job title. And profile picture is very important. This is the first thing that clients see. So make sure you choose a professional HD photo. You must upload a photo to appear in the search results. So it's a very important one. And availability, I think availability is also super important. You need to make sure your availability is up to date. It should say availability confirmed. And because if your availability is not confirmed, automatically the algorithm assumes that you're busy or you're maybe taking on another project or something. So you won't be that visible. So please make sure your availability is up to date to make sure you do appear in the list. And daily rate, unless you have your so daily rate is super important. You can have an average daily rate, and you can honestly just sort of judge your daily rate, just thinking about the number of years you worked, the experience that you have. And yeah, you can just like take a look at other freelancers in your field to make sure you're charging a rate that reflects your values. And remember, please, that lowering your daily rate does not mean that you will be matched with more projects. I know that some people have this misconception. It's basically that clients understand that your skill set reflects your work experience. So make sure your daily rate is also, justifying that. And just a tip that please use keywords throughout your profile, your title, description, skills, etc., to improve your visibility in the search results. And that would really help. And moving on to the next slide. So this is just when you scroll down on your page. I couldn't add one page. I just wanted to make sure that everything is clear. So I cut it in half. So then we will move on to your and then we will move on to your work experience. Make sure you add each project to your list of work experience to make it easier for the businesses that you work for, the clients to see. And you can just mention the businesses you work with for us to find you the relevant match. And you can easily import your previous experiences. Recommendations are super important. When setting up your profile, you'll be given the opportunity to invite past clients, employers, and colleagues to leave you a public recommendation. And then that can further substantiate your past work experience. Language is super important. Companies can use this filter to find freelancers with whom they can easily communicate. Your projects and experiences, you can just add all jobs and all projects should be listed for better matching. That should increase your chances. And certificates, add as many certificates as possible, because our internal recruiters search best candidates using the certifications too sometimes. So these are all super important things. And in your few important words about you, you can just add your core skills to help us and clients find you. You can just bullet point your hard skills and soft skills. And when it comes to verifications are also super important. So please make sure your verifications are all up to date and you are legally verified. I do have a separate slide on that, so I will explain more there. But you need to upload all your details and make sure your verifications are up to date. Perfect. Moving on to the legal aspect. So basically this slide elaborates a little bit more on the legal documents. So Malt offers a compliant legal model for freelancers and companies to work together. This is why it's important to fill out your business information and upload up-to-date legal documents on your profile in order to be paid in time. Please make sure you update the My Business Settings section on your profile and update all your business and personal legal documents. In order for you to get paid at the end of each project, your freelancer status should also be verified by a payment provider, MangoPay. And if you need help, I can share links that you can use in case you need to register yourself as either a freelancer or a sole trader. This is in case if you're new and you're just starting off and you're not under a limited company or you're not through umbrella company, then you need to register yourself either as a freelancer or a sole trader. Actually, I can just share the link in the chat right now. So you can go to gov.uk and just register yourself as a freelancer or a sole trader, depending on whatever works best for you. And then you will have your UTR number and you will be able to provide your legal documents and move forward with this legal verification. And yeah, as I was mentioning, within UK, you can register yourself as either sole trader or freelancer. If this is in case if you are not already under a limited company or under an umbrella company. So there are quite a few options for you. So you can definitely just use those. And it's just very simple step that you can follow. And then you will be provided with your UTR number. And if you're already under a limited company or umbrella company, you don't have to worry about it. You can just go to your My Business Settings and just verify and upload your documents. Perfect. And moving on to our next slide, I would now like to invite my amazing colleague, Jabek, who was also super kind to spare some time for us today to introduce a very important program for our freelancers to benefit from, as well as talk about the IR35 legislation. So over to you, Jabek. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aiman. Hi, Aiman. Hi, Braj. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. And I'm here to help my colleagues shed some light on what we offer. And I'm really excited to introduce this program where we actually help our freelancers earn money as passive income. So basically what this program is about. If you happen to know about a project opportunity, it can be your client. For example, you have your own client, they have a project, but you don't have time, or the project is slightly left field and not really within your key skill set, or maybe the role is too junior. Maybe you just know about an opportunity or somebody asks you to, I don't know, do you know any good platform? Do you know any good network that we can hire a freelancer from? So if you are in a position to mention us in the conversation, you can simply send us one email connecting with a potential referrer, with a potential client, or you can reach out to and give us the name and the contact details and maybe one sentence about the project brief. So you just basically spend 5 minutes connecting us. And then what happens is that we present and pitch the platform and what we can do, all the amazing capabilities that we have in our community to this potential client. And then if the client is interested and we find the best freelancer to deliver this project on our platform, then we're helping our freelancers. But as a thank you, you will receive 5% of the total invoice everything that a client pays you, not only our margin or commission, for the first 12 months. And it will be a nice monthly paycheck if it's a project longer than 1 month, or you will get 5% as a referral bonus upon the completion of the project if the project is less than 1 month. So just to summarize, if you know about a project opportunity, if you have a client who has a project for you but you cannot deliver, you can simply connect Malt, send the email to, if you want support at malt.uk, or Aiman or myself. And but I think we will share the link to the type form, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I will be sharing.
So yeah, there's a link to the type form. There's an online platform. And that's really, this is really what you should be doing. We will handle with the project request. We will find the best freelancer. We will manage the project, and you just receive these referral bonuses. Thank you from us. And if we move to the second slide, yeah, this is really the process. The only thing is that the project should be £3,000 minimum, and the duration of this period where we share the percentage of our revenue, 5% of our revenue, is 12 months. So these are T&Cs. And I think that's really it. Or we might have a slide with a, yeah, no, I think that's really it. So IR35. I'm sure, and this is the most frequent question that we receive, I'm sure you all heard about IR35 legislation, which sadly made our lives more difficult, but most importantly, the lives of our freelancers as well as clients. And in so many cases, this is a major blocker for people to even think about doing freelance work, or for companies to find cost-effective solution and hire freelancers. So what is IR35? Basically, IR35 is the legislation that was created to help the government to deal with people who avoid paying taxes by creating their own companies. And IR35 may or may not be applied to any freelance project. Now, the process of determination whether the project falls inside or outside IR35 is always on the client side. So every time we have a project request from a client in the UK, we should absolutely sit down and talk about IR35. The client assess, and we are happy to help, but ultimately it's their decision. But what we always encourage our freelancers to do, and we invite our freelancers who will potentially start working with this client to this conversation and to this assessment exercise. So it's really important that you also have the voice, and you talk to the client, and you together decide. But as I said, ultimately the decision on the client side, because and why? Because clients will ultimately be responsible for any mistakes. And basically, there's no, let's say, expiration date, and companies can be fined even 20, 30 years after the project had been completed. Therefore, a lot of companies adopt this blanket approach and determine almost all their projects with freelancers and contractors to be inside IR35, sadly. But as our experience shows, and Praj, correct me if I'm wrong, not many projects fall inside IR35 in the UK, maybe because by nature they are freelance and consulting projects that can really be easily seen and determined as to be outside IR35. I don't want to dive deeper into the parameters and why the project can be determined inside or outside 35. I'm sure maybe some of you know even better than I do. But to summarize, every time we have a project here in the UK, we will ask the client to make this assessment. We will advise, but ultimately the decision is theirs. We always encourage our freelancers to take part in this status determination. And bear with us, this is really important. Bear with us if it takes longer than you would want to, we would want to, because sometimes it's a lot of back and forth emails, us asking client to make this assessment, client making this assessment internally, and then maybe asking us questions and maybe inviting freelancers to a discussion. So especially for example, the client is outside the UK, there might be a lot of back and forth, but there might be a lot of back and forth emails. So please bear with us if it takes time. But I think on average, it's not really that long. And yeah, that's really it in terms of I-35. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else here on this slide. No. So happy to hand it over to you, Aiman.
Yes, thank you so much,
If you
Jabek.
have questions, please. Sorry, I'll just
No,
quickly.
no, yeah.
If you have questions, and I can see you start sending questions to the chat box. If you have questions about I-35 or Business Travel Program, please feel free to send. One disclaimer: we are not experts in I-35 and tax legislation, so we may just write down your questions and come back to you later. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jabek. That was lovely and so useful for everyone. And yeah, I think the next slide it's just basically Malt from A to Z is available on our resource center and FAQ section. So please feel free to browse through if you have any query or issue, and you will most likely find all of your answers there. But if not, we're happy to help. You can always drop me an email or Jabek an email. And yeah, and if you want, I can also show you where you can find resource center and FAQ. I can just quickly share my screen and just so it's clear. Yeah, so basically this is what you see when you go to malt.uk, and you can just go to resources and you can click on all resources and you'll find everything. There are multiple articles, anything that you're looking for, you'll most likely find it. And in terms of help, you go to malt.uk and you can scroll down and you will see there is this section where literally it's for everyone, for companies, for freelancers, resources, Malt, and there's help section. So you can just go to help and you can search for something. You'll find top articles, some issues that people face. We've already have answers here. So there's a lot of things here. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. And yeah, and this is basically just you can find everything there, and I will also be sharing the form that Jabek was talking about. So please make sure you give us feedback, anything you want to say or anything you would like to be included in these webinars. We would love to get those. And yeah, and now we will move on to questions and answers. Let me see the questions, and I think Jabek and Praj will also jump in if there's anything. Okay, I see we have already answered a few questions. Let's start from the bottom. Okay, so I think when it comes to reviewing the profile, we've already told you like what things you need to upload and what you need to have on your profile. So please make sure you do check it. I can't manually go and check all the profiles, but if you have any questions later on, you can feel free to drop me an email. I will go through your profile with you and let you know if there's anything that we can help you with. And I see Shirley's question has also been answered. So we can move on. And there's a question from Fahad. I haven't been approached by any of the client for a project yet. Yeah, so I think we can definitely, please make sure your availability is up to date, and please make sure that your profile is also complete. Just make sure the tips and tricks that I share with you, just make sure you do follow those. And then if you feel like still things are a bit slow, then please feel free to email me. I will definitely help you out. And Amia's question has been answered. And yeah, verifications. If you have any difficulties when it comes to verification or legal documents, or if they're rejected or something and you don't understand why, please make sure you email support@malt.uk. They're happy to help. They're sitting there and they're just literally going through all of your requests. So make sure you do email them. They will get back to you as soon as possible, and they'll exactly tell you what the issue is. So they can like tell you which document there was a problem with, and you can just fix that. And then moving on, we have a question from Gregory. In the profile section, how can we reflect that we are totally flexible on location? UK, Europe, it only offer an option of cities. Okay, I think Devaka, do you want to jump in for this?
Gregory, are you asking about whether or not you can choose the countries that you can work in? Was it that the question? Because if you want to specify that you want to work in other countries, the best option will be to set your profile as a location and work preferences as remote. That will be the best option on our platform, because we cannot, you cannot specify countries that you can work in. Because technically, people can work across all countries. Some people that absolutely don't mind time zones and can work with clients in Singapore, Australia, or East Coast. So the best option will be to set it up as remote. And the cities, yes, we offer cities, but I think it's not going to work in your case.
Okay, he's, I think, following it up. It is asked if you need to be on site.
This is something that you decide together with the client. But what do you mean it is asked if you need to be on site? I'm sorry, if you can just maybe specify your question.
I don't think you need to put that you need to be on site or not, but it's just a suggestion to put it that you're working from remotely, just to have more sort of options. But yeah, I don't know if you're asking if it's asked on the platform. The case a client asked to be on site. Mention of cities.
If you are able to work on site, you can add it to your summary. And I'm not sure if we have options. Well, if the client approaches you and want you to work on site and on an odd day, you can just discuss and take this discussion with the client. But maybe this update will be helpful. 90% of the projects are remote projects, and those that require some on-site work, it's literally a very short time away from home.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the questions. And yeah, I think that's it in terms of questions. If you have anything else, we're here. And yeah, anything else from anyone? I think we have some questions in the chat box. Yeah. Raj, do you want to answer Gordon?
Yep. So in terms of projects, we cover almost all verticals. Now we have integrated with a company called Comatch that also works on consulting and strategy or management consultants kind of projects. So apart from that, most of the Malt network is oriented towards roles like marketing, tech, UI UX designers, backend, front-end developers. So honestly, irrespective of the need or any issues of the business, we have a solution in terms of having a freelancer in that specific functional expertise or industry expertise. So while most of our pool is mostly tech oriented, I think around 40% of the projects are tech oriented. But we do cover a wide scale of verticals in terms of types of projects. So hope that helps, Gordon.
Hi, Jim. I'm happy to answer your question. Why I cannot search for projects or not? Because this is not a business model, and I'm sure Aiman has mentioned it already. What we offer a marketplace, pretty much like on Airbnb. Clients can go to malt.uk and find freelancers and either talk to them directly and manage projects with them, or through our internal recruitment teams if they have too many projects and they just can't handle doing the search and managing projects individually. And this is a business model. So there's no opportunity for you to browse the list of projects that we're staffing. But make sure that your availability is up to date, and then I'm sure we will invite you, or our clients will invite you directly. I know it's a sit and wait game. It's not comfortable for everyone. And I appreciate the very simple fact that our platform is not for everyone. But we have amazing competitors here in the UK that offer an opportunity to actually find the best projects that they have from their client and apply. And I'm sure you know those platforms as well. Cloud DevOps platform, I would say that IT and tech are one of our top bets, and maybe not those job families that we are actively work at the moment. At the moment, we work mostly with marketing, communications, design, strategy, transformation consultants and freelancers. But we started seeing more and more projects for IT tech. When I say IT tech, I mean ERP modules, programming languages, software development, backend, front-end developers, data and data scientists, analysts, engineers, cloud and DevOps engineers. So these are our core IT and tech families. But to be more precise and answer your question, I need to dive into some numbers. So unfortunately, I cannot share these figures with you because I just don't have them. But I think still we have a really strong value proposition. Our services are free. You don't invest a lot of your time into just updating your availability by clicking on yes, I'm available, or no, I'm not available button every month. But what we offer is access to 70,000 clients. We offer cash advance, meaning that we take on the hassle of chasing clients for payments from you. For you, and we offer professional indemnity insurance for free, which covers up to £5 million per project. And I think all in all, it's a really good value proposition. But I appreciate for so many of our freelancers, we may not be the best provider, and they will work more often with other providers. But what we offer is an alternative platform, an additional source of projects for free. Malt is making money. Sorry, I'll just quickly jump in. Our clients pay the commission, and our services are free in the UK. They are also free in Germany, but freelancers in France and in Netherlands after it's free as well. But freelancers in France and Spain pay a small commission to Malt to be on the platform. No worries.
And just
And
to
also,
answer Jim's question, like how do we see clients on the platform? Basically, clients find you. That's why you need to have a complete profile, and because you will be, the client will look for you and they will see your profile, and the algorithm takes the clients to the profile. So there is not like you can't really see clients, but they will be able to see you and find you.
and thanks for that, Aiman. I also see another question from Gordon, that how many companies have posted requests for photographers last month? Well, Gordon, we do receive quite a few requests for photographers and videographers. In fact, yesterday we just had a freelance event right at our office, and we hired a photographer ourselves to be at the event and to click some headshots for the wonderful freelancers that were on board. So yes, we do have quite a lot of requests on that. And earlier, Jepek was also mentioning about IR35, that most cases in the UK does not fall under IR35. While that is true, yes, because most cases are short term, they don't tend to fall towards IR35. However, we are set up in the UK to manage anything that comes in place. For example, even if it does determine that it's inside IR35, we liaise with the client on the potential day rate increase. We manage this through the insurance providers that we have. So we have an end-to-end process in place to manage that for you. So you don't have to worry about IR35 much as well. Hope that helps.
Perfect. If there's anything else, we'd be happy, but I think we've answered all the questions. So thank you so much for joining the session, everyone. I hope we have answered most of your questions, and I hope you all have a smashing weekend. Take care. It was so lovely to see you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. Have a great weekend. Bye.